How's it going? Today is 23rd of November, Saturday, and we gonna be taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities we can find. We are taking a look at world news, so we're gonna be trying to source information from different sources. Some information might be opposing views, so not necessarily one-sided. So we'll try to balance it out with perhaps conflicting, or I guess if one side is presenting one news, other side might be presenting a completely different point of view. I guess I believe this is how things can be. I don't know. I'm not leaning to any side or anything. I don't know. I don't know. If anything, we're just focusing on business, right? And that's the point that I'm trying to make with this channel. We're focusing on business as of now, and we're trying to understand where opportunities are. And right now, there's a lot of conflicts. And what's on the news? Mostly military expansions and all procurement, all this kind of things. Even today, we're going to be taking a look at perhaps some of those opportunities for people to engage who are interested. The first article is something that will be published today. That will be a 10-nation military partnership successfully complete major exercise in Latvia. 10 nation, perhaps that would be around Baltic Sea, I guess. But I haven't read any of these articles, right? The UK led Joint Expeditionary Force Partnership has completed an exercise on NATO's eastern flank. We can take a look at this article. There might be some information, all this information that will be published by the government. So the reason why I'm reading it, so it should be important for everyone to read it, right? I guess if people care about defense, right? Uh, Britain and close European allies have exercised rapidly bolstering NATO's eastern flank, demonstrating alliance ability to defend Latvia from any threat. Right, it's something that was mentioned yesterday in Estonia and how perhaps much personnel is stationed in Estonia. So perhaps after the progression from Estonia into Latvia if needed, I guess. At least that's how I understand it, and the dates might be important, right? UK led a joint expeditionary force. The partnership of 10 Northern European nations has successfully concluded exercise joint protector across multiple locations in Latvia. On NATO's eastern flank over last month's exercise is a vital part of testing how quickly the GEF can deploy together across European to meet rapidly emerging threats. Military personnel from across the 10 nations practiced deploying from their home countries along with the key equipment to locations across Latvia. Okay. There's a lot to unpack. Just the way how some of this sentences will be structured, right? The ability of the GEF to rapidly deploy is reliant on nations being able to seamlessly operate alongside each other. So potentially different languages, different equipment, perhaps different standards when it comes to personnel and how they can communicate to each other, right? And practice makes perfect, I guess, right? This exercise helped improve coordination on cooperation between Jap nations, particularly. I don't know, it's kind of interesting name, but anyway. There might be a lot of things happening that is published, but we're not necessarily be discussing, right? So perhaps there's a reason why they're doing this. But anyway, help improve coordination or cooperation between Japanese nations, particularly in the early phase of any development, right? Since it's early phase, right? Ukrainian military officers attended the exercise for the first time this year as the alliance looked to learn from Russia full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and all Ukrainian military continues to work closely with its partners across Northern Europe, right? We can perhaps, I don't think that many people are finding this kind of information that interesting. But anyway, there's a lot of work has been done, which is very important. This part is very important when it comes to perhaps numbers and or how to work with different personnel, working together, equipment, all these kind of things, and practice, right? But other than that, let's progress. Let's take a touch on opportunities, what might be available out there, right? Briefly, we can touch on opportunities if people are interested in engaging with the team, right? That would be DAS announce a strategic partnership to accelerate defense innovation. Something that will be published 2 days ago. Team operating, and or if you're interested in reaching out to this organization, very serious people, by the way. It might be some difficulties, but very serious people. So when it comes to time, or if you're interested in engaging in this opportunity or very similar ones, since IoTs, that most likely we're going to be taking a look at sensors. I would say they perhaps should focus before sensors. There's an additional step they should focus on, something that myself I have highlighted. If they would be able to overcome initial phase, progress into sensors and so on, right? That would be very important, right? But anyway, overall, if you yourself you're interested, highly recommended first read all the terms and conditions before engaging with the team in this particular competition. But that would be those opportunities, and for any opportunity, there should be at least 100 businesses expressing their interest in engaging with the team, and see how of those we should see how many of those opportunities we should be able to create, as well as how we can source enough expertise to do that with a fraction of the cost if possible, right? Anyway, that would be DASA points IoT strive to deliver business accelerator services supporting NATO's Diana initiative and UK's defense innovation boosting defense capabilities. The Defense and North Security Accelerator has today announced the appointment of IoT strive. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. There might be more complex things that they are taking a look at, but either way, as a delivery partners for business accelerating services operating from DASA London Hub, IoT Tribe will lead group of specialist organizations operating under the name Janus. Okay, sure. Reflecting the dual-use nature of technologies that will advance both defense and all commercial applications. Janus will work alongside DASA to offer UK defense accelerators, strengthening the UK's position within the NATO defense innovation acceleration for the Northern Atlantic Diana initiative. Okay. Great. Everything what they're doing is great. It's just that where data would be collected, I would highlight this part, right? If since Estonia has very advanced government when it comes to technology, if data would be collected in Estonia with IoT sensors, perhaps all the data should be stored in Estonia, right? If that's eastern flank that they're taking a look at. If it's data that will be collected in London, perhaps data should be stored in London. Other than that, I think that's great work that they're doing. Right, let's progress. Briefly, we can take a look at what's happening in Lithuania. Right, that is Lithuania is stocking up on anti-tank obstacles. Previously, they have, I believe, manufacture. Since by weight, it wouldn't make sense import anything made out of concrete. That would be Dragon Teeth, I believe that's the name, or very similar one from concrete barriers. So that would be physical barriers making or building obstacles, right? So perhaps there's developments when it comes to anti-tank obstacles, right? I haven't read any of this information. The construction of the Baltic defense line is picking up pace. There might be a name of the company, one of the firms contracted by Lithuania's defense minister. There might be names of the people. Let's keep those. Is business building hundreds of anti-tank barriers. As part of the Baltic defense line, Lithuania aims to create several dozen parks to house so-called counter mobility measures like mines, razor wire, anti-tank hedgehogs, dragon teeth. I believe I see some of those and other barriers on YouTube, right? In the event of military crisis, they will be used to fortify the borders across the cities. We used 12 to 15 tons of metal a day, a massive amount. We can produce 60 Dragon Thieves per shift. We are currently planning an upgrade. If there is a bigger order, which would be in the pipeline, we might be producing around 150 to 180 pieces a day. And as well, people most likely to know that when it comes to physical barriers, perhaps there's a number of those. Digging, uh, barbed wire, one, two, three, or four, five different layers, right? Could be an option, as well as satellite tracking and movement of personnel will be important. But most likely people know that, other than perhaps if there will be a process engaging with any of or business or government. If government would launch similar initiatives, would be myself or other businesses might be interested in understanding what will be the process engaging with Lithuania's defense, either minister or entire organization, right, administration team. That would be great. Let's progress. Next article that really important to touch on, that would be Lithuania allocates 10 million euros to Ukraine's reconstruction via World Bank Fund. So overseeing a body of that would be World Bank, and that would be 10 million euros, which would be important. As well as there is a number of different initiatives that Lithuania is launching. Currently, right now, I believe one of the biggest issues might be heating, since it's a cold season, right? And that would be energy potentially, and how to stay warm during these cold months. And there is a lot of developments. It's just not enough time to cover all of those, right? Let's take a look at three different articles where we're going to be taking a look at three different governments and some of the developments there. First article, that will be China triples uranium imports from Russia. Uranium can be used for multiple purposes, including production of energy potential, right? That would be Moscow previously banned the exports of strategically important nuclear fuel to the United States. Beijing is supposed to become the largest importer of Russian nuclear fuel this year, following Moscow's ban of enriched uranium exports to the United States in relation to Washington's selective restrictions. Over the past 10 months, China has purchased $849 million worth of enriched uranium from Russia, a 3.2 times fold increase compared to the same period last year. So massive increase, by the way, right? As well as perhaps Europe is struggling with energy prices. I'm just saying, right? But other than that, we won't be reading entire article, since that's all information. We cover all information. All the rest of the information, that would be speculation on opinions. Most likely, I haven't read most likely. So it's just hard data, right? And that would be custom data analysis. RIA Novosti is October alone. Its imported doubled from September, reaching 260 million. Great. South Korea has also increased its purchase to 650 million of the same period, becoming the second largest importer of nuclear fuel from Russia. Right? South Korea, I believe, top five governments when it comes to nuclear. That would be China, Russia, U.S., South Korea, and there was another one. Can't remember right now. Has one of the best technologies when it comes to production of energy, but most likely it could be used for a number of purposes, right? Since there was a contract to build some of those facilities across the globe, and five governments expressed their interest in developing those sites, right? That's the reason why I was saying five, right? But anyway, let's progress. Next article, German multinational to axe thousands of jobs. It's something that will be published by media, but the name of the company, perhaps not. We're not presenting this company best slides, so let's keep the name just for that sake. Like, plans to reduce its global workforce by 5,500 positions due to weak EV demand, right? That would be a German auto parts supplier. There's a name, has announced plans to trim its global workforce by over 5,000 jobs in the next several years, citing stagnation hitting global auto sales, or perhaps can they diversify and perhaps invest in research and development? But there's a risk involved, and perhaps it's not the time to take on more risk. But anyway, let's progress. Let's take a look at next article. And last article, that would be Kenya cancels deal with company of United States indicated tycoon. Okay, there's no names, which is, I guess, great. Okay, the country's president has said the decision of India's. Oh, okay. It's based on information from investigative agencies and all partner nations. Kenya's president, let's give name, says he has ordered the immediate termination of airport expansion, which we were taking a look at previously, as well as there's additional developments when it comes to that particular, I believe, airport. But again, it was some time ago, right? And energy contracts with India's, let's keep name, the move came just days after conglomerate's chairman was indicated of the U.S. to allege fraud. Prosecutors and the federal court of this location. I prefer the details. We want to take a look at all these details. Right. On Wednesday, accused the billionaire, let's keep name, of paying. There's a lot of money, as well as previously we were taking a look at freezing some of the funds and and or acquiring airport, I believe. There was a lot of things happening in development, right? Government officials are securing lucrative solar power contracts with electricity distribution companies. So potentially, this company can offer solutions when it comes to electricity distribution. And I believe, from my personal research, there was something with solar panels, right? Can, as of now, India manufacture solar panels? If they can, we need massive, large contracts to have access to, right? But either way, in a nation's address on Thursday, let's keep name, said the decision to cancel the two major deals was made of new information provided by the Kenya's investigation agencies and all partner nations. Let's close on that. There might be more information available later, but overall, energy and climate change and solar panels would be important. It just hopefully they would be able to resolve any ongoing issues and focus on alternative fuels, including solar, hydro, and or similar. Since we were taking a look at nuclear potentially fuel, so perhaps there is a lot of things happening when it comes to energy. Let's close on that. Thanks for watching. See you next one.